I just need three, right?
All right, well, we will call the meeting to order. We're live. The pledge of allegiance and one of the silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You see the minutes of the September 17th meeting. Is there a motion for approval?
I move.
Second. Hey, Ron.
All right, we're gonna take these out of order. First one, we're gonna have the Arthur L. Arner and his wife Karen Arner up there. Sawmill Run. Sawmill Run. Basically, there's
You're in
some,
the parking lot, Dennis.
No,
houseboat.
I'm in a building with air conditioning.
Basically what they're doing is having a lot up here, lot two, they're taking 0.6884 acres out of it and combining with the house there. Let's see. It's, they needed copies of the deeds prepared for recording shall be provided, the ownership certification, not signed. The Salvo 66 requested a designated recreation area, Franklin Township. On the plan, his engineers requested waivers from the old Franklin Township subdivision areas. And he should, and this one down here is not valid. So I suggested that it get removed. And I would recommend conditional plan approval.
Any discussion? Is there a motion for conditional plan approval?
Motion. Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Conditional plan approval granted.
Next one is Carolyn Searfoss. This is right up the road, right next to the Franklin Township, the building. She's on the corner with the solar panels. And what they're doing, they'll come back at it as a land development. But they're taking this whole complete lot with solar panels. They're out here in the front, and they're subdividing it into a 0.51 acre tract, and the rest is going to be sold to a person that's gonna put more solar panels on that red lot right there.
What happens to the lot they cut out then? What's that for? A little,
Residential.
oh,
Okay. As indicated in the plan site information, lot one has existing public water and sewer facilities, but they're not shown, and that does meet the zoning where 0.22 acres, 10,000 square feet is the minimum. Survey or certification of the plan was not completed, not provided on the plan, seal and signature of the professional surveyor and engineer responsible for preparation of subdivision plan not completed, sealed. Existing sanitary sewer line and water line, including pipe sizes and materials along Wagner Street and connections to each lot's not shown. And all the road signs right up here is the school. Slow down, they got one of the flashing signs. They should be put on the plan because they're right in the front here. Soils that were not shown, and again, they needed a dedicated recreation area to the township. And I would recommend, there's no construction proposed right now, and I would recommend conditional plan approval.
Are we gonna get this back when
Whenever when they come in, yeah,
Any discussion?
I'm sure they're gonna. Who's the guy here? Jay Copenhagen, co-owners.
Yeah, I thought so.
is that connect to the other solar panel project, or is that the same?
Completely different.
Completely different.
You're gonna see this shoot up since it's screwed up and we're going.
Any discussion? Not is there a motion for conditional plan approval? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Conditional plan approval is granted.
And the last one is Market Hill Estates in Franklin Township at the intersection of Market Street and Long Run Road. And we had this plan as a preliminary back in 2007 and recommended conditional plan approval. And in 17 years, that's how the property changed down there. Different people buying all that property around them. So what they had back in 2007, they just resubmitted it thinking, oh, it's okay. They got to do a lot of revisions on these plans. And a lot of more additional work because of the change of the subdivision. The plan is submitted does not conform to the preliminary final plan requirements of the Franklin Township Saldo subdivision land development ordinances, and under the note, on the subdivision land development ordinance review, it says the Market Hill Estates plan has been submitted to the Carbon County Planning Commission by the applicant for a review recommendations as it's indicated on the application for review as a preliminary final plan. However, all these plan sheets are final plans. So they gotta make those changes. The plan was submitted for review in 2007 and was recommended for conditional preliminary plan approval pending addressing and or mitigating requirements and plan discrepancies as required by the Franklin Township subdivision and land development ordinance as adopted October 26, 1993. To date, the Carbon County Planning Commission has not received and reviewed a revised preliminary plan nor received any documentation from the applicant or his engineer confirming preliminary plan approval by the Franklin Township Board of Supervisors. Therefore, the submitted Market Hill Estates plan has been reviewed according to the requirements of both the preliminary and final plan per saldo section 21 of the Franklin Township subdivision land development ordinance as adopted February 20th, 2024. And let's see, it's 6.7935 acres, 18 lots, including one lot designated for a stormwater detention basin. There's public water and municipal sewer. They're gonna use force mains, and block grinder pumps. And, municipal water they have down there. I don't know if everybody knows where this is at, right in the corner, as you're going up Long Run Road. Oh, man. All right. They're gonna need a sewage, facility planning module. They're gonna need a highway aquifer permit for. Lot 18 is, they're gonna access it from Long Run Road, construct a new road calling court. And they're gonna need a township road permit, and they're gonna need a township road permit for access for these two lots coming off the Market Street,
Does the township take that road over then, or is that private?
private,
Private.
so far. Still preliminary. The Board of Supervisors shall not approve or sign the final plan until all improvements shown in the final plan have been installed by a developer and verified as complete by the township engineer, or a performance guarantee has been provided by the applicant pursuant to chapter 5. You're gonna have to install this sedimentation pond. They're gonna need a permit from PA DOT. They're running a pipe across the street right into somebody's property. They're gonna have to get, permission to do that. And, let's see what else. That's about it. Upon completion of all improvements, the applicant shall provide to the township plans certified by the applicant surveyor and engineer showing all such improvements as installed. Failure of the applicant to provide the as-built plan shall constitute a violation of this ordinance and subject to all the enforcement proceedings contained in this ordinance. They did provide a site concept plan or an existing resource and site analysis plan, preliminary resources impact and conservation analysis, plan map, to include zoning district boundary lines within 1,000 feet of proposed development. Name and address of the owner, if the corporation, you have to change it. It used to be, what is it? Greg, Leposki and Thomas A. Creed. Now it's owned by Cedar Realty Investments LLC, and one of the attires around town. The date, including month, day, and year the preliminary plan was completed, names of the current owners and adjoining property owners, the property identification numbers for each property shown on plan sheet 1 and 9 are not current. 22 of the 26 property owners shown in the plan have either incorrect or owner names of property identification numbers. This lot here, they're shown as 1, county tax parcels show it as 2. And these 3 lots, Richie Arietta, these are all combined plan that we did. They're shown in a separate. Legal descriptions for the street right of way intended for dedication to Franklin Township, along with the additional land adjacent to Morgan Street and proposed Collin Road should be provided. They're going to connect to municipal water. The letter from the water company stating that the company or authority will supply the development, including a verification of the adequacy of service shall be provided. Same thing with sewerage, list of any public utility, environmental or permits required, if none are required. Plan note statement to that effect should be added. They need a soil and erosion control plan, a drainage stormwater management plan meeting requirements of Franklin Township subdivision land development ordinance. A statement indicating any existing or proposed zoning variances or subdivision waiver monitors. Waivers listed on plan sheet 2 of 9. That's it. They're referring back to the old Salvo back in 1993, and they have to be all revised. Documentation of compliance with the Pennsylvania Historical Museum Commission requirements not provided. Documentation of submission to the Pennsylvania Natural Diversity Index in compliance with any findings not submitted. The preliminary impact and conservation as per the requirements of all those. Section 28D shall be prepared for all major subdivisions and land owners to categorize the impacts on proposed activities and physical and those reserves are shown in existing resources plan. And that hasn't been submitted. The final plans contain all the information required in the preliminary plan along with the following additional information. They have any restrictive covenants, utility and drainage easements, including ownership and maintenance responsibility. General notes on the final plan that haven't been shown on this, required by the ordinance hasn't been shown. The supporting documentation information, the water supply and sewage disposal information, the highway occupancy permit, soil erosion control plan approved by the Carbon County Conservation District, final drainage and stormwater management plan meeting requirements of the Franklin Township subdivision land development ordinances, and they do have their own stormwater management ordinance. Any variances or subdivision waivers, modifications not provided in the plan. Developer did not provide a proposed plan for the succession of ownership and continued operation and maintenance of all development improvements, amenities and common use of or open space areas in accordance with Article 5. And the Board of Supervisors shall determine the adequacy of the plan and shall require any additional assurance to provide for proper operation and maintenance. Again, as-built plans, all the regulations for plans recorded, nothing signed. They need a installation of project improvements and the execution of a developer's agreement. And they need an acceptable form for the improvement construction guarantee listed in the saldo. Again, the following requirements shall apply to the financial guarantee set forth. The funds of any guarantee should be held in trust until released by the Board of Supervisors. It may not be used or pledged by the developer as a security in any other matter during that period. Failure, in case of a failure of the part developer to complete a set of improvements, the institution shall immediately make funds available to the Board of Supervisors for use in the completion of these improvements. Approved as part of the final plan may be required to service any lots or dwelling units as determined by the Board of Supervisors. The creditor shall guarantee funds in the amount required by the ordinance, and the guarantee shall not be withdrawn or reduced in amount until they're released by the Board of Supervisors. And then they list the count of the cost of the security, 10% of the total cost that the developer submits, and then if they don't complete within 1 year, then they do 110% of the cost of completing it. All these are maintenance, we covered these before, but they keep popping up in the ordinance as we go along. Again, a development agreement. Page 6. Guidelines for the protection of topsoil in the state. The site shall be followed. Within any subdivision or land development, a maximum of 12 lots or dwelling units shall be serviced by a single means of access. Homeland Court has proposed will provide access for 14 dwellings. The applicant may wish to request a waiver from that solid requirement. And in the next paragraph, a minimum of 2 means of access shall be provided for any subdivision and or land development or portion thereof which contains more than 12 lots or dwelling units. And again, the applicant, if he wants to, he can get apply for a waiver. Flag lots shall not be created when lots can be designed that directly access a public or private street. And the Board of Supervisors may approve the creation of a limited number of flag lots in accordance with SALO section 50F. And the supervisor may attach any reasonable conditions to the creation of flag lots as defined necessary. This lot, was 18, lot 1, sorry. They can access from Long Run Road, but they're coming in here with a flag lot. Plan notes should be added. They grant the waiver. Lot shall be restricted from further subdivision with the plan note. Driveway grade for access to lot 1 shall not exceed a grade of 15%. And they need to add a driveway profile to the plan. And where the staff widens shall be considered the front yard. And this lot will have 2 front yards, one here and one over here. The area of the access quarters staff shall not be included in the calculation of required minimum area. And it's well over only some 1,000 square feet, so that really doesn't come into effect, but they still have to figure it out. And the horizontal and vertical street alignment shall be designed and constructed to meet or exceed the minimum standards in SALDO. Design and construction of the street shall be done in accordance with table 51.2, to conform to the specifications. They may require a sidewalk. The applicant's engineer shall prepare and submit to the township plans for stormwater management and drainage controls. And again, all subdivisions comply with that. We're back to soil erosion that they need. They need an MPDS permit for stormwater discharge associated with the construction activities that must be obtained prior to preliminary plan approval. Because the total earth disturbance for the subdivision is greater than 1 inch. I can contact the Chris Storrs on conservation if they have one, and I don't know, for every reason he sent it to us. We had it in the file. That's the one we pulled out on May 17, 2004, from the Carbon County Conservation District. And they gave a permit number, and it does expire on December 7th, so they're gonna have to go through the whole process again to get their permit renewed. They didn't give any of this to the Franklin Township, so they wanted. Let's see, all land development should have easements provided for the installation of power and telephone utilities lines to service each lot. In the television cable, existing and proposed utility lines not shown. They need a landscape plan. There's a total 2 pages in here. And if you can read them on yours, they need to perform, put it this way, they need a performance guarantee equal to the amount necessary to cover the cost of purchasing, planning, maintaining, and guaranteeing that equal amounts necessary to cover it. And replacing all vegetative material for a period of 18 months following installation. And there's all planning details, trees that should be saved. We're down here at the bottom of one plan. It switched so much. Down here at the bottom. there's a whole bunch of trees that they're proposing to be saved. They should be marked before the construction starts, so they don't get run over. And, again, recreation area has to be usually $500 per lot they require. And a lighting plan shall be submitted for township review and approval, and should include details for lighting in streets, parking areas, and buildings. Street lights shall be required in all major subdivisions unless development documents such lighting is not necessary. Let's see here. Again, drainage and stormwater management, they gotta comply. Direct pavement width of Market Street shall be shown on plan sheet 209. Lot, this is one here, 20 feet. All the other ones are 22 feet. And lot, note on plan sheet 39, 49, and 59, referring to lot access to the proposed lot 14 should be revised from lot 15 to 14. They're gonna need provisions for snow clearing and removal from Collin Court within the cul-de-sac. And it should be addressed. I asked, will it be the responsibility of the Market Hill Homeowners Association? And plans 5 of 979 contain the seal of the engineer who prepared the drawings because they're the road profiles. And they should be sealed and reviewed. Recommendation of the Franklin Township engineer should be addressed. Looking for one more in here. Because this leveling area, it exceeds the 4% leveling areas, it's actually 5%. Don't see there. Or the township engineer pointed it out, and he told me he'd take care of that. In any case, that's it. And the recommendation would be, in reviewing the above major subdivision plan, believes we found several major areas of nonconformity to Franklin Township Land Development Ordinance that precludes any recommendation for approval of the subdivision plan at this time as submitted for review. We also noted the subdivision plan as proposed will require reviews, approvals, and permitting by county and state agency. And again, we're providing the comments to Franklin Township supervisors for their discussion to the applicant and the surveyor. And I pointed out if the above noted comments cannot be adequately addressed or adequately mitigated before preliminary plan approval, we recommend plan rejection. Started in 2007, and basically they haven't changed the plans they submitted back then.
The work item,
I worked with Joe Zukoski, the Clark engineering.
the same last name, this guy? Or
No, this is the engineer for what is it?
Peter?
Lehigh Engineering.
Yeah, but you said Joe?
Joe Zukoski,
Oh.
he's the engineer for Franklin Township.
Any other questions to add? If not, is there a motion for plan rejection?
No?
I'll make the motion.
No.
No.
Recommend, we're just sending this as a review to Franklin Township.
Oh,
And if it can't comply with the requirements, then we suggested plan rejection.
Oh, okay. All right,
We still need a motion.
Yeah.
Still need a motion to
Still need a
forward
motion,
the
then
comments.
oh, a motion to send to supervisor without comment.
the other file's up there, it's about that high.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have is,
Way to get that.
Wait,
motion,
yeah, wait.
I'll make a motion.
Bobby, want a second that?
In the recommendation section, do we need to say that we're just providing our comments? Because
I have it down.
we're going to review we found there.
This is the first
Yeah,
one.
I'm on the wrong one. Okay. I'll second it.
Yeah. We're
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Motion is passed.
The next thing I have, we got a letter from Diva Zinc US Incorporated for their permit. And they're applying the PennDOT for an air quality plan approval application. And it's located at 900 Delaware Avenue in Pomeroy, and they're gonna be submitting to the PAD part, DEP application to install 2 new product collectors dedicated to kilns 2 and 5 respectively. And they will replace the 2 existing product collectors dedicated to the same 2 kilns. And we're gonna capture the efficiency of particulate matter emissions to the atmosphere. And the new product collector stacks are projected to be 8 times lower than the existing collectors. And with no changes to the operation of the kilns, and that was it. We had said that it met the Carbon County Conservation or the Carbon County Comprehensive Plan.
Job, I've done a lot of work there. Any old business, new business, correspondence? Commissioner, anything on that other than? Nothing, I'm good. Moving to the Yankees, something like that, or?
Definitely. Definitely.
Stay awake, nice watching them babies.
Is there a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right.
How do you fare, Dennis, down there? Are you in Florida?